let's begin. So yes, good evening and welcome back to this month's Blue Bindi session, a special space where women step confidently into their financial power. Obviously, everybody's aware as Independence Day is approaching. That's how we've planned the theme of this month's session, which is around financial freedom, financial independence. Obviously, we have our expert who's going to take us through what's the difference and how one can achieve financial freedom, financial independence. But before we do that, let's just talk about it. Let's just understand where we are, at what level are we, and then we'll welcome Sailesh to take us through this. So while India, um, sorry, has somebody unmuted? Somebody wants to say something? Okay, I think. Yes. So, 1947, obviously, that was when India gained its political independence. And today we are here to celebrate how women like all of us are, claiming control over their money and their futures. Though obviously we've had multiple sessions where we've understood that yes, we are not there, but our journey towards financial independence and financial freedom, we are on, that track at least. So in today's session, we will talk about, where we actually stand financially and discover how to strengthen our freedom even further. Okay. Because it's, the way we all say, it's my life, my one, my money, my rules. So let's not just let that be as a dream. It's actually our right, and let's make that into a reality. Okay. So, before we talk about what needs to be done, how do we get there? We were talking internally amongst our team and trying to understand and pull out positive data this time that every time we've highlighted okay that this percentage of women are still struggling, this one they've not started, but this time we wanted okay, let's figure out what how things have evolved and how actually women are taking charge and they are leading the financial decisions. Okay, obviously they'll be dependent, they might reach out to family, friends, people around, but still the overall what do you say scenario has evolved and is constantly changing. So more and more women today are owning their financial decisions. They're building that safety nets. They've understood कि ये करना है. This is needed for me, for my family, for myself. And how they want to plan their future on their own terms. Okay. And this progress is really inspiring when we keep reading, different reports, and we keep analyzing a lot of stats that that are available, that okay, over the years we've seen nearly 35% of Indian women, they have started to take financial decisions and the number is growing fast. Okay, then women are actively involved in managing their money, and it is not just that they save, they've understood the impact of investing, and they're investing better and with certain goals in their mind. Okay, and so today when we do this session, it's not just we want to talk about where all of us are, but how can we take charge, how can we do better, and how can we keep moving forward, because it's not, as we keep talking and as month on month we are having different sessions, it's not something okay I tell you today it's done. It's a journey. Okay, and this journey is going to be evolving as your goals change, as your life cycle changes. So all that alterations will be needed. So that's something I think with these sessions we are trying to do. We're trying to give you that direction. We're trying to guide you in the right way to reach out to your goals, and also tell you, okay, you have to keep evolving. Okay. So before we dive into our session, I would want to invite Moin to again have an interactive session with all of us to, whatever the questions that he brings up with, that sets the context for all of us. And then we know where we stand, what is our current position, where do we want to, how do we want to work upon that, and how, Selish can actually help us navigate through that. So Moin, over to you. You are on mute. I can't hear you, Mohan. Can't still. I don't know. Others? Or is it just me? Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. Till the time he's back. We'll just see.
Am I audible now?
Yes. But you're not visible now.
Now am I visible? Great.
Audible, but not visible.
Not visible?
No. We see a lovely photo. Your DP is pretty much there, but
Joined through Shailesh's laptop now. The expert.
okay. Yes. Yes. Now you are. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies and allies, as we would like to call you all, for yet another session. As Ritika mentioned, this one's really interesting, and I'm really excited because the interactive session that I have planned, the questions that I have planned are really interesting and really tricky. So I can't wait to get that started. I was discussing with Sailesh last evening. I said, थोड़ा ज़्यादा tricky तो नहीं हो रहा है, Sailesh? Should we tone it down a bit? Sailesh said, नहीं. I want people to think. I want people to introspect. So, like always, there are no right and wrong answers. Obviously, it's just about you asking your own self, क्या ये सच में ऐसा है? Do I really agree to this? Do I disagree? So, on that note, all the ladies and allies, put your brains to thinking now as we throw some questions uh, on the screen, and chat box is the place where you put all your answers. Let's go.
Okay.
So the first one, you can only be financially free if you earn a high salary. Let's see how many of you all agree to this and how many of you all disagree to this. You can only be financially free if you earn a high salary.
Okay.
Okay.
You have to just answer agree, disagree, or we can give some explanation also.
No, for now, agree and disagree.
I don't know.
Okay, a couple of you guys agree, and there are some disagreements as well. Okay,
Yes.
disagree, agree. Okay, some people believe that high salary hogi to hi hoga by financial freedom, otherwise nahi hoga. Okay, I'll leave that for the expert to comment. I don't know, where do I stand. Maybe I also agree to this. I'll put in my agreement in the comment box as well. All right, let's look at the next one. You don't need to understand every minute detail to start investing. How many of you all believe that जब तक सब कुछ नहीं पता होगा, we cannot start investing? Do you all agree? Or is it that थोड़ा भी अगर कुछ पता है, तो you can at least get started? Okay, they say ना कहीं से शुरुआत होनी जरूरी है. How many of you all believe? Let's have a look at the comment box. A lot of agreements, very nice. So most of you agree that you don't really need every minute detail of where you're putting your money, as long as you know that you're putting it in the right place with the right set of people, the right brand, at the right place. Okay, interesting. There are no disagreements as of now. Nice. All right, let's look at the next one. Financial freedom is more about mindset than the amount in your bank account. Okay. What's your take on this? How many of you all agree कि हाँ इतने पैसे हैं तब मैं financial freedom अचीव कर चुकी हूँ या कर चुका हूँ, या फिर ये मेरा गोल है जब मेरे पास x करोड़ रुपीस हो जाएंगे तब होगा financial freedom? Okay, a
These
lot
are
of,
actually tricky, Mohan. Very tricky. Now I'm thinking both ways.
I told you,
Yeah, very
it
tricky.
will put you to think कि agree करो या disagree करो.
हाँ.
So financial freedom
थोड़ा
is
थोड़ा
more.
agree भी है, थोड़ा थोड़ा disagree है. Is there any middle thing that you can you
We'll
give us
create
one more
one more
option?
option. We'll create one more option on public demand, on Ritika's
Hmm.
demand. Let's do a 50-50. So आप comment
Okay.
box में 50-50 लिख दो. ठीक है?
Okay.
चलो. So okay, someone says I have one target amount. Very nice, interesting name. And is there anybody who's putting up 50-50 for this? So कोई है एक बैंक एक amount in your mind that अगर यहाँ तक पहुँच गए then financial freedom is achieved. I have one target amount, only then financial freedom. Interesting, ma'am. All right. While you keep thinking, I'll put up the next one. Another tricky one maybe. It's okay to make financial mistakes as long as you learn and don't repeat them. What do you think? It's okay to make mistakes as long as you don't repeat them? Yeah, mistakes karna hi nahi hai. There is no scope of mistakes that you have a goal of. That mistakes nahi ho sakti. It's
Nobody
either
is perfect.
exactly.
Hmm.
So a lot of agreements, yes. Most of you guys agree that it's okay. Mistakes hoti rehti hai. Mistakes do happen, but what is important is we understand कि ये mistake क्यों हुई and how we will not repeat it.
True.
True. All right, some more agreements coming in. All right, let's look at the next one. You should always follow expert advice, even if you think you know it all. Now, what's your take on this one, ladies? Like I said, some thinking to be done. Today, we are giving you all a little extra time to think before you put in an agree or a disagree. Okay, you should
50-50.
always follow expert advice, even if you think you know it all. How many of you all? So someone says most dangerous word in dictionary is I know it all. I agree,
Arre
man. When sales messages come in seasonal sale, then automatically goes. Okay. Somebody says I'm thinking twice. Okay. Think. Do you think that you should follow expert advice, or even if you think you know it all? Do you trust the expert? Do you trust yourself? मुझे सब पता है. What is it? Okay. Now, a lot of you are in thinking mode and hence are not putting up messages here, putting up your answers here. ठीक है. Introspect. Interesting. Let's have a look at the next one. Financial freedom looks different for every person. Now, I think this is an easy one.
Yeah.
Financial freedom looks different for every person. For every person, हर किसी के goal अलग है, हर किसी के targets अलग हैं. Hence, financial freedom का definition हर किसी का अलग है. How many of you all believe this? Okay, agree. Somebody says strongly agree. Very nice. Yes, agreed. Interesting. Next one. It's okay to take some financial risks if they align with your personal goals. Another tricky one. It's okay to take some financial risks if they align with your personal goals. What's your take on this one?
Agree.
Agree. A lot of people agree. Okay. Of course, strongly agree. So you all do believe that it's okay. There are risks. जहाँ जहाँ पैसा है वहाँ तो risk है. Okay. Interesting. As long as they align with your personal goals, the sentence is आगे का sentence वो है कि risk है जहाँ है वहाँ only if it aligns with your personal goals.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of agreements. Okay. Let's have a look at the next one. Learning about money should be a lifelong habit. I think this is a very easy one. I mean, learning never stops, whether it is about money, whether it is about anything in life. It's always, it's always that you should keep learning, keep growing, keep upskilling, whatever the topic, wherever, whichever field you are. And yes, everybody does agree, strongly agree. And a couple of more agreements. Interesting. And let's have a look at the next one. Small savings can lead to big financial freedom over time. Now, this one relates to the first question, जहां हमने बोला था ज़्यादा salary से ही हो पाएगा. But if you're starting small, if you start with smaller amounts, do you think you can still achieve that financial freedom over time? Or do you believe that नहीं, जब एक साथ बहुत सारा जैसे मोटा पैसा, some people call it, वो होगा तब ही उसको एक जगह रखते चले जाएंगे, सेविंग करते जाएंगे, इन्वेस्ट करते जाएंगे, तब जाके वो ओवर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ग्रो होके फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम हमको अचीव होगा. How many of you all believe that? Somebody says learning is endless. Very nice. Strongly agree. Yes. Definitely agreed. Interesting. Do we have one more?
Small steps matter. So
Yes,
keep
small
going.
steps
Yeah.
matter. True. The biggest reward of financial freedom is peace of mind. How many of you all agree to this? The biggest reward of financial freedom is peace of mind. मतलब जब financial freedom आ जाएगा, that is when you achieve peace of mind. So, what's your take on this? A lot of people agree. Yes, yes, yes. Another yes. Okay. Interesting. Somebody says totally agreed and strongly agreed. And there is one more comment which says confidence also you will get. You'll get confident as well. True. Okay. And that's about it from my end. I hope I have confused you all enough for you to put in a lot of questions in the comment box for our expert to answer. Without any further delay, I would like to invite Sailesh now to clear all the confusion and for all the introspection that you guys are currently facing. कि यार ये क्या था, ये कैसा सेशन था आज, मुझे कुछ समझ ही नहीं आया. Sorry, buckle up your seats. Sailesh is right here to answer all your queries and take you through the interesting session. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mohan. That wasn't confusing. You got us thinking, and that was really interesting. So, I think now, obviously, uh, Sailesh, over to you. Let's discuss first before we get into, as I was talking to you, that how will we, introduce and start the conversation around this. And now that Moin has actually got us thinking, I would first want you to throw some light on what is financial independence and what is financial freedom. So let's get started from there.
So, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Lubindi team. Thank you for giving me this opportunity again to be with your audience. So, let me start with the subtle difference between independence and freedom. So, freedom follows independence, so it is in sequence. So, once you have independence, the freedom happens. So, if you look at India as a country, we gained independence from British rule. So, after 15th August 1947, we were on our own. We were independent as a nation. We were no more reliant or dependent on Britishers. Okay, so that's the independence we got. But then we had the constitution which came in and gave us certain rights. Okay, so that is the freedom part. So once you become independent, doesn't mean that every citizen has every complete freedom. So there is a constitution which kind of draws red lines everywhere. So you have the freedom of speech, you have the freedom of movement, freedom of religion, various kind of freedoms have been given, but then there is a definition for everything. So yes, so there is no unrestrained limitless freedom, but yes, that is how it works. And if I have to relate this to financial freedom and financial independence, so financial independence is all about, you are in control of your money, so you are earning something, whether through salary, whether through your professional income, or you're doing some small business. So you are in complete control of your finances. That is, you are not dependent on anyone for money. That's the independence part. But that doesn't mean then the freedom will automatically follow. So what do you do with your money? How much can you spend? How much can you invest? Where do you invest? That freedom may not necessarily be available to everybody. So it is easy to think that, oh, this is my money, I have earned it, so that's the independence you got. But whether you will be free to spend it, use it the way you want, may not necessarily come to you, because there are certain social responsibilities. There's a community we belong to. We our upbringing, the way our family value system is. Sometimes we say, for example, a woman, a daughter started earning, so she may be financially, she may be earning her income, but then she would like to give that money to her father or a brother to manage it. Okay.
Mhm.
And sometimes by family pressure also there could be that yes, you have earned it, but the way you spend it is going to be decided by the family head or someone. So there are various ways the freedom will be defined. So the freedom will follow, but yes, it will not necessarily come in the way you would like to, right? So that is how I would like to define financial independence and financial freedom. Like if you have a car, you have the key, you are independent, you can drive it, but you don't have unlimited freedom that the way you want to drive it, you will have to follow certain traffic rules. That's the analogy I can give.
Yeah. Wow. That clears it. I mean, that explains it pretty well. That obviously for all of us today, be it, for somebody who started earning now, somebody who's already working and earning, or somebody's owning a business, we are financially independent, but somewhere or the other, that freedom aspect, I think we're not there yet, 100%. But at least independence hai, control le liya hai. I think we are on that journey. One day we'll get there. Okay, so moving forward, can we go to the next slide? So all that we will cover, we can move forward. Would want this is something we have spoken about. Next is I would want Sailesh to talk about, he explained about the difference, okay? And as I rightly said, financial freedom, not all of us are there. It's a journey. So what are those different stages, Sailesh, or levels for one to understand that मैं कहाँ हूँ और मैं कहाँ जा सकती हूँ और what will be my end goal and how do I navigate basically?
Right.
Next.
So if I have to define levels of financial freedom, there are 5 levels of financial freedom, and depending upon how evolved you are, you may be now earning, you may be having that financial independence, but you will progress towards financial freedom. Okay. So we will see that how the first level is all about the survival. Okay, so it is all about that you are started earning, but you may not have savings. Okay, now this is the first step where you think that, oh, I don't have enough freedom. I'm earning, but I really don't feel that freedom. Okay, पैसे तो आ गए, लेकिन freedom नहीं है. मतलब क्यों? Because I am not able to save enough. सारा खर्च हो जाता है. ठीक है? Maybe I'm controlling my expenses to an extent. Otherwise, I could be in deficit also. So I'm trying to make two ends meet. This is the basic survival stage. So even if you are there because you have financial independence, not a bad situation to be in, but you can progress from there. The second level is where you have evolved as a person. You've started earning. You've created some savings which are sufficient to take care of your emergencies. So when we look at personal finance, the first step we always say is that while you are saving, you also ensure that you have some peace of mind, because you're not always worried about that something goes wrong, will I have the money. Okay, so we always tell investors to have an emergency fund in place. So if you are able to manage your emergencies, okay, you have sufficient fund, then you can basically say that you've evolved, you have been there, you're saving, and now you have created your emergency pool. Third step is stability. So you've moved, you've grown, you've learned something about how do you grow your money. Okay, so you've come to a stage where emergencies have been taken care of, savings are happening, but it's not enough. After keeping aside your emergency pool and the savings are not yet sufficient, you can only carry on for 1 or 2 years. So whatever is visible over the next 1 or 2 years, you still have that kind of a money, but may not be sufficient for you to take care of the long term. Okay, but this is again a step better than the earlier 2 steps. This is the most this is where you feel you're really grown. Okay, and that's why we're calling at the growth stage. This is a step where a person, a woman who is working, she feels independent and she is in control of her finances, because she is now investing and building wealth. Okay, till now we were talking about only meeting your emergencies and the immediate 1 or 2 years ka need. But right now you are confident enough to plan for the future. You know how to multiply wealth, okay, money. You know how to create wealth. You've learned the art. That's quite an evolution, from the stability to the growth stage. This will come, at once you have that confidence. So when we were saying that, a lot of the women who are earning, they feel independent, but they have not really enjoyed freedom. That experience of freedom नहीं आता है जब तक तो अंदर confidence नहीं है. So one thing that holds them back is that I have the money, but I don't know how to, invest it wisely. So you may meet an advisor or someone who is able to guide you on this path, and now you have reached a stage where you are able to build your wealth. And then comes the final stage of evolution where you really experience that freedom. Aapko, you feel that now you are in control. Now you are not dependent on anyone for money. You're earning, you're contributing to the family, you have created your own emergency pool, you have started building wealth, and now you are completely on your own. All decision making, whether you want to start a business, whether you want to invest, big ticket investments you want to do, whether you want to plan for big goals, you've reached a level where you're completely confident. Okay, that sets you free. Okay, that's the final stage. So I mean, if I'm sure everybody can relate, I'm sure, but these are the 5 stages as you evolve in the journey of financial freedom.
Interesting. So now that Sailesh, you've explained these 5 stages, and while you were talking, I'm sure a lot of us were thinking, okay, where do I stand? What is it? So even I was thinking, and I have that confusion. I could be at stage 3 or stage 4, or I don't know. So for that, I think when we were talking, you said we could have a nice checklist that can give us a indication, okay, where do you stand, right? So we'll quickly do this. We'll all of us will go through this checklist together, okay? And then we will talk about the score. And I think let's get into this. Then all of us will understand what we are trying to do. So just remember there are those 5 stages that Sailesh spoke of. Next slide, I will tell you all what we will be doing now. Okay. So we're gonna show 8 different questions on the screen. Okay. Each question you have to, at an individual level, you have to answer, is it a yes for you or a no? If it's a yes, give yourself 0.5 points. Okay. If it's a no, 0. Okay. Pen, paper in your system, anywhere, Excel, wherever you want to note it, please do. But just do this with us, so you will know that, okay, the different stages that we were talking about, where do you actually stand and what you need to do to move to the next stage so that you get to the level of financial freedom. Okay, I'm just repeating again. There are going to be 8 simple questions, okay, on the screen. For each question, when you think, okay, this is a yes for me, add 0.5 points. And if you think, no, this is not for me or I'm not there yet, then 0. Towards the end, we will total it up and then we know where we stand. Okay. I am assuming that we are ready. So let's begin. Okay, to the next slide. Okay. The first question is, can I handle a 50,000 emergency without asking anyone for help? Okay. If you think the answer for this for you is yes, 0.5 points for yourself. If you think it's no, you cannot, it's a 0. 0 is not negative or anything, but just for us to calculate, to understand what stage. Don't put it on the this thing chat box, note it somewhere so that you can total. There are 8 questions and for each you have to give yourself a point. 0.5. Okay, if you want to note it, it's okay, not a problem. Put it on the chat box, but I'm telling you to note it for yourself, like the way I'm doing it for me. Okay, so for the first question, if it's a yes, you will say that you're giving yourself 0.5. And if it's a no, then it's a 0. Okay, moving to the next question. Do I pay my bills loans on time without any penalties. So, your household bills, your credit cards, your other bills, and if there are any loans that you are your, home loan, car loan, whatever. So, do you pay that on time without any penalties? If your answer is a yes, give yourself 0.5. If it's a no, then it's a 0 point. Easy, guys. I hope. Yeah. Okay. We have people putting up total the points then. Okay. Next question is, do I use my credit card wisely? Pay in full and avoid overspending. So you've never defaulted your payment and you wisely make those spends, because nowadays actually credit cards give you good offers. So people end up spending because you get those cashbacks or you get discounts and all. So do you use your credit card wisely? If your answer is a yes, give yourself 0.5. If it's a no, it's a 0. Okay, to the next question. Do I save at least 20% of my income every month? If your answer is a yes, do you save 20% of your income every month? Give yourself 0.5. If it's a no, no problem. Don't add any point, 0 point. Okay. Next question. Do I have investments in my name? Be it anything, be it any asset, be it an FD, mutual fund, stocks, anything, but it is for me. If yes, if an answer is a yes, amount could be anything, but this is in your name. The answer is a yes. Give yourself 0.5. If it's a no, don't add anything. It's a 0. Okay. Next question. Do I know how to start a SIP or review my mutual fund portfolio? If your answer is a yes, yes, I know how to start and I keep reviewing my mutual fund portfolio, give yourself 0.5. If no, don't add any point, just keep it 0. I hope everybody's just adding these points. I'm telling you, when we total up, when we discuss, it will give you a picture about at which stage do you currently stand. Okay, next question. Do I have adequate health and life insurance? We did an exclusive session on this, so everybody should have a 0.5 for this. 0.5 is for a yes, 0 if you still haven't, it's okay. But I'm assuming most of us do have our health and life insurance in place. Okay, and the last question. Okay, could I walk away from a toxic job, or I would just, if I have a business, can I just do away with it without any financial fear if there are some financial losses there, or if the job that you're doing could be toxic or something that you don't like doing? Okay, so are you that financially sound that if you want to take that decision, can you do that? If your answer is a yes, add 0.5 to your total. If your answer is a no, then it's a 0. Okay, we'll just keep this for a minute on the screen. You should have, like 8, whatever, 0.5, 0.5. So let's just total it up. If you've missed any question, just go through the same. Can I handle a 50,000 emergency fund, emergency without asking anyone? If your answer is a yes, 0.5, no, 0. Do I pay my bills, loans on time without any penalties? Yes, 0.5 to you, otherwise 0. Do I use my credit card wisely? Yes, 0.5, no, 0. Do I save at least 20% of my income every month? Yes, 0.5, no, 0. Do I have investments in my name? Anything, FD, mutual fund, stock, gold, anything, but that's for me. 0.5 for a yes, 0 for a no. Do I know how to start off SIP or, review my mutual fund portfolio? If your answer is a yes, 0.5, otherwise 0. And do I have an adequate health and life insurance? Yes, 0.5. No, 0. Could I walk away from a toxic job or something that I don't like doing without a financial fear? If your answer is a yes, 0.5, otherwise 0. Now let's total up and see where do we stand. Okay. Oh, sorry, I just saw Sukena's comment. Health and life insurance should be different question. Either, if you have either right now, you can give yourself a 0.5. If there's nothing, then it's a 0. Okay, we have Ruchi who has put up her score and she is at a 3, which is growth, which is really nice. So you guys can put up your scores here. Just go through our index. So if it's from 0 to 0.5, you're at the survival stage, something that Sailesh explained earlier. Sailesh, I would want you to, talk more. So if people are not putting up their scores, आप एक बार वापस वो survival, security, stability, with the points, just explain so that they know.
Can you just put up that slide?
Yeah, it's there.
On the survival. Yeah. I just want to also want people to see the slide. So what each one of them stands for. Go back. Yes. So survival, like I said, is the starting point. This is someone, perhaps someone who just started earning or, trying to become independent. So they're earning, but, they're struggling with basic savings. So they are spending, but they may not, having adequate savings.
So anybody from 0 to 0.5 score, sorry, I was just adding that points also so that people can relate to 0 to 0.5 score in the survival stage, what Sailesh just explained. 1 to 1.5 is security. So yes, Sailesh.
Yes. Then the next stage is the security stage. So, if your score is anywhere between 1.0 to 1.5, then you fall in this category. So this is where basically you have saving, and you're also now managing your emergencies. So the first question was about whether you can, meet your emergencies up to 50,000 rupees independently. So that is, if you are able to do this, then you fall in the security stage. If you are somewhere close to 2.0 to 2.5, then you're in the stability, phase. So here you have surpassed the emergency stage and you have now been able to meet some of the immediate goals or immediate requirement for money. So you have the emergency pool aside and you can now plan for the immediate requirement of money. So that's the stability stage. Then comes the big, leap forward, which is the growth. Basically over here, if your score is anywhere close to between 3 to 3.5, you are in the growth stage where you are now confident of investing your money and building wealth. So when I say build wealth, you are perhaps in a phase where you understand what is equity, because you need something like an SIP or investing in equity funds to start building wealth. Okay, when I say wealth, it means that you put in a small bits of money and it grows very large. Okay, that's wealth, and you are able to create assets which continue to grow on their own. So that's the wealth assets. Okay, so that's really evolving in that's a phase where you now understand concepts of investment very well. You understand equity markets, you got some grip over there. And of course the last stage where your score is say 4.0, this is the freedom stage where now you don't only understand what is how do you grow your wealth, but you are also at a stage where you are completely independent and you know how to take big financial decisions, whether you want to buy a house, you want to start a business, you want to take up any new course, big financial decisions apart from investment is something that you're capable of doing, that sets you free. Okay, so you can say that now I know all the nuances of finances. That's the freedom stage we are calling.
I think
Look at your score.
look at your score, and I'm pretty impressed with the scores that we've received, Sailesh, in the chat box. So we are in a good space, I can say. But the others who've not posted their scores, we will send this out. So you can, go through this again, share it with people in your group and see where people are standing, and just see that this is the journey that you have to, go through. So okay, step by step you're building it for yourself, and one fine day, that financial freedom, that's something that you will be there. So I have a lot of the averages, the okay, 3.5, 3.5, 4, 3, 4, 4. फ्रीडम आ चुका है शैलेश, 2-3 जन को तो ओके, तो भाई you guys can start taking, they can start their own sessions then. They
No,
are
it's
there.
good to see that there are
Yeah.
people who have really entered that phase, and all. But there is Ritika. It is like we ask question whether rules of investment or lessons of investing. Whether you can say that I've learned everything, or it remains always you continue to learn. I mean, I have always felt that equity market is one place where the market is a guru, and every day it comes with a lesson. The day you feel that you can outsmart the market will humble you. Okay, so that is why I feel that yes, you can never say that you know it all. Yeah, while you could be in the the freedom space, but you need to maintain and sustain that. That's the point that you need to remember.
Yes, yes. Even though people have got 4, there's a long journey. But yes, you are, financially independent. Financial freedom is somewhere you have achieved, but still keep learning, keep growing. And yes, Sukena, we will share the PPT on the chat only. You can take it from there. Okay, now moving forward, there were a couple of questions that I wanted Shailesh to you to answer. Then we will move to Q&A. So the first one, let's move to the next slide. Okay, we have these together. एक question था ये पर साथ में आ गया. Sorry, so I'm going to ask you these 4 questions. So a common money trap women fall into, something that you can, highlight, and which a lot of us would have fallen into. We don't even know that was a trap. Or if, you highlight that then that can be something we can be mindful of.
Right. So, I'm speaking more in the context of Indian women, and I would put it a little more mildly. I would say that, rather than a trap, I would say that women, the way, Indian woman upbringing is, she would always like to put family before herself. Okay. And that's the natural instinct. Every woman, you will see every household, where she would like to keep herself my family matters to me, I will take care of myself, whether it is financially, it will be always at the last. Now, while this is a good stage to be in, while we are discussing financial freedom and financial literacy, I would like every woman to think about this, that yes, you can take care of your family, but at some stage, if you're earning also, and I'm assuming that everyone is earning, that is why we're talking of financial independence. But if you want to achieve that freedom, you need to start independently taking financial decisions. You need to, you may be not still part of the financial decision making. So whether your family wants to buy a house or a car, or you want to take any major financial decision, you may be staying away. You may be still saying that whether it's your brother, whether it's your father, or whether it's your husband who will be, the final decision maker. What I'm trying to say here is that you should be part of the financial decision making, learning about money, having that experience, being aware is something that you should know. While you can always keep the family interest, right up there, but since you're contributing to the family, pool, you also need to understand that there are some investments that you're doing independently, and you are building your assets also. I'm not saying that you should not keep think about your family, but I'm just saying that you need to be taking that decision. So that's the trap you need to avoid, or maybe you need to think about it that you can put your family interest also at the top, but parallelly you need to think about this also.
It is, while you were talking, I'm pretty sure a lot of us would resonate with that. A lot of times we do that, and then later also feel that, okay, I should have, thought about myself, then, done something that I did, for the family or whatever. Not that now that we are saying that don't do that, but yes, it can be at an equal level. Yeah, so that's an interesting one. Okay. The one financial move every woman must make. मतलब ये तो करना ही है.
So this is extension of the first thought that we said, that is, how do you come out, if you have to call it as a trap, how do you come out of it?
Yes.
Is the move that you need to make. And what I'm trying to say here is that maybe you need to start an SIP or have some investment in your name. I've very frequently seen women investing only in gold, or they investing in bank FDs. Money is lying in the savings account, or at best they will go to the bank. The bank manager will tell them to put the money into an FD, and that's done. So when we ask them question why, because they say, मुझे investment के बारे में पता नहीं है, मुझे mutual fund के बारे में पता नहीं है, I don't know, I'm scared. So that's the knowledge is not there, or that the confidence is not there because the knowledge is not there. So I want everyone to gain that knowledge, gain that confidence, and start making that one investment. Start about at least one or two SIPs in your name, so that you build a parallel portfolio for yourself.
Everybody has to do that today. जिन्होंने कर लिया है उनके लिए टॉप अप कर देते हैं शैलेश, और जिन्होंने नहीं किया है वो आज सब करने वाले हैं शुरू. So what freedom looks like when money is truly yours?
Okay, so freedom is an experience. Okay, yeah. You feel freedom. How do I put it into words? Because like I said, it's an experience. So say, let me give you some example. If I want to go shopping, I should not feel guilty about it. I like a bag, okay, and obviously I'm not saying you want to be extravagant over here, but you like something, you should feel confident that yes, I can afford it and I will buy this, and after you bought it, you should enjoy it. Not that ab bahut ho gaya is saal ka, I am going to be on a tight leash. Okay, then that freedom is kind of control. You don't really feeling that whenever you use your bag, you'll not enjoy it. Okay, so I think if you're able to do that, if you're able to fulfill your desires, okay, in a limited way, I'm not saying you need to be extravagant about it, but you are at a stage where money you're earning, you can take those decisions, and you will not feel guilty about it. That is the experience that you need to get. That is when you can say I'm truly I'm enjoying the freedom that money brings with it. Okay, and then that was one part of the shopping. Just to I'm sure every woman can relate to shopping experiences, but when it even comes to investing, the decision to decide, or the power to decide that yes, I will put my money into this fund, or I'll put my money into equity, or I'll go and buy gold. Even that decision, if you can take and you're allowed to take that decision independently, that is the freedom you will experience. So if you can experience something, then you can say that you're enjoying financial freedom.
I think you give a very relevant and apt example. I think all of us have that shopping ka wo le to liya kar diya, and then you have that guilt. But obviously, very correctly put, because आजकल thanks to the sale and thanks to the apps and thanks to everything around and thanks to social media, you are, in that trap always. But then, yes, if you, think logically and plan that way, then actually whatever you buy, you should actually enjoy it and not feel guilty. Oh shit, why did I spend? Right. So yeah,
Right. So
that's it.
the moment you think that guilty, that is again a nature that you have built. Obviously, the more confidence you get, the more money you earn. You will reach a space where you will not feel guilty. But if you are somewhere thinking that I've overshot my budget,
Hmm.
then you have to
Hmm.
be very careful. You may
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
stepping into a dangerous zone where you may be spending a lot. You're not able to control your spending instinct, and that is where you need to draw the line. So it is very easy to get into the overspending zone.
Hmm. So now to the last one, and I think this will conclude, our key takeaways, everything that we discussed today. Conclusion for us, that how do you go from a low score to a full azadi zone in, simple actions that one needs to take. Gradually move to the next stage. So some few things that you would tell Ritika, जैसे वो डॉक्टर बोलता है ना, ये दो तीन चीजें कर लो आप ठीक हो जाओगे. If you go to the doctor when you are unwell, or you have some issue, health related, whatever. So then कि मुझे ये चीजें करनी है and I'll be on track. So now that way, if you can just tell us those steps, points, whatever, that will be the key takeaway for all of us from today's session.
So, stepping back again, coming to that score that we're talking about, the 0.5 to 4.0 is a score that we were all looking at. And if wherever, range, whichever range you fall, but the answer lies over there. If you are not able to save, then you need to really work on your savings part. You need to you need to create a budget and keep a track of your income and expenses. Okay. If your income is low, then you might need to look out for a job, a better job. Obviously, you can keep trying, okay, but that may not always be in your control. So expense is something that you need to uh, keep control of, so that you have savings. If you've not created contingency fund, because see, we all fear the unknown, and money is and if it involves money, then it is still, it creates, it's lurking in your mind, and that creates a problem. So when we say that you don't have an exigency plan in place, we can say that you create an contingency fund, so that will take you one step ahead. If you have created if you bought adequate life insurance and health insurance for yourself, then you've more ahead. If you are able to save enough for meeting some of the goals, then it's a progress. And like I said, if you're able to, if you've gained confidence, the markets, you have the knowledge and you have the confidence to take decisions, then you achieve that freedom stage. So there is a lot of work involved. So from working on your budget, to creating an emergency fund, to buying adequate health and life insurance, and then planning for your financial goals. These are the, this is how you will go from low score to the full azadi score in action. And you don't have to rush, but I think emergency fund and health and life insurance is the first thing that you need to put in place.
Yeah. Great. So yes, I mean, you've concluded it for us. And I think what you said earlier also in our sessions, we've spoken about it. And at times, wo hota na, you have to keep reiterating. That's when it hits you hard, right? So that's, I think, we keep talking about it again and again to our audience. So before we, conclude the session, I would request if people have any questions, anything that you would want to ask Sailesh regarding our today's session, or anything about your score, or anything, you can just post in your questions. We'll quickly take those questions up. Okay, we have first one. What are some red flags that signal I am falling into a financial trap?
Okay. One is if you are overspending on your credit card. That's the first step. If you take a personal loan, then you are surely in a financial debt trap. Now when you say financial trap, it means that you don't have adequate money, and you're borrowing money through a personal loan. So personal loans are unsecured loans, and they carry heavy. There's a lot of interest to pay, but I think more than personal loan is the overspending on credit cards. I would always suggest that you spend
Yeah.
from your debit cards or UPI,
The money
okay,
that you
because that is where you will spend only from your बैंक account. So जितना पैसा है उतना ही spend होगा. But I will also say that if you're really struggling, create a separate bank account, transfer money from your main account to that, and use it only for your spending. So at least you know that that you're not overspending. So that's again, like, it's a difficult job, but if you know that, at least you can track yourself. So that is one indication that you're getting into a financial trap. And if you have 2 credit cards, throw one away.
Okay, difficult one. आजकल तो ज़्यादा लेने होते हैं सैलरीज ताकि you get different offers on different
In
cards.
fact, there are YouTube channels which teach you which credit card to buy.
Yeah.
There are classes people run to tell you whether you should buy a particular bank's credit card or another bank's. What is the difference between them? How do you maximize your rewards? So they teach you, but the point is that you never know when you get into the overspending zone because you have multiple credit cards. Okay, so that is the problem. I'm not saying that you should not know how to maximize your reward points. If you have a credit card and you are well within your credit spending, but ensure that you don't overdo it because it is very easy to get into a trap.
No, I agree. And I know, Sailesh, you've told me about this, and I actually do that. What you mentioned that, you keep that amount separately, that you've always told me कि ये मुझे जो खर्चे करने हैं ये मेरे अलग account में होंगे. But I'll do a confession that, the classes or the online session that you were talking about, the credit card wala, I've attended. So again, that was again keeping that money aside and keeping that thing in my mind that I'm not going to overdo it because, as you rightly also mentioned, that rewards, those are also pretty lucrative and you can actually make the most of it. But then, yes, do it sanely and then avoid that trap. So I'm going to be very careful and mindful about that. Guys, anything more? Okay. Are there any low risk investment options that are good starting point for beginners?
So, when you say low risk, I think if you want to start an SIP in mutual funds, that's the most simple thing. Today, it is so easy to open an account with a mutual fund. You don't need, virtually within 15-20 minutes, you can set up and you can start your SIP. One is that I will always encourage that, if you're doing it for the first time, seek help from a professional investment advisor. To look for one. Second is, if you really want to test markets, then start with a balance advantage fund. Okay. Again, now for some people, this could be jargon. Okay. This is a fund that invests in equity and fixed income securities. Okay. I would say that even if you don't understand, for some people who are really new to this and not understanding, have faith in your investment advisor and start that. Okay. And you will see, don't look at your investment on a day-to-day basis because you will be very, very disappointed. ऐसा नहीं है कि आज डाला और कल से बनना शुरू हो जाएगा, कल से घटना भी शुरू हो सकता है because they are market linked. But give it time. When you sow a seed, you don't expect the seed to sprout tomorrow. Okay, it takes time. Some seed take 5 days, some takes 10 days, some take 15 days. But allow some time and it will sprout and it will grow into a tree eventually. Okay, so hoga. But I have always felt SIP is the most simple way of investing. I repeat, I am sure if we go back to our sessions, Ritika, a lot of things are repeated. I'm not saying something new, but I think these lessons are so simple and you need to do the right thing again and again. And that is why we keep emphasizing these same rules.
Yes.
Okay? But yes, that is how it is.
Yeah, so we have two more. We'll take two more, then we'll conclude. If I have irregular income, okay. If you are part of Nuvama, you cannot have irregular income because you get salary every month. How can I still plan for growth and stability?
Yes. So talking of people who have irregular income, so I have a lot of people in my family who do their own, women who do their own business from home, whether it
Hmm.
is making bakery products or anything. So they do have sufficient cash flows when it's festival time, like it was Raksha Bandhan or Independence
Hmm.
Day, or now we have
Hmm.
Janmashtami. So they will be full with orders, and they want to, whenever they make this money, they want to
Hmm.
save it and invest it. So I tell them, don't go and put it into a bank FD. If you want, put it into a low risk investment like a balance fund, or if they understand equity markets, then they can put it into an equity fund also.
Hmm.
So whether it is SIP, whether it is lump sum, put some amounts gradually, and once you get a taste of it, once you start experiencing, how your money keeps growing. Okay, thoda tension hoga initially, but that is where the role of an investment advisor comes in. That investment advisor should handhold you, in this journey. Okay,
Hmm.
you don't have to feel very anxious about it. Just pick up a decent fund, and I can assure you that you will be really, really successful in your journey.
Hmm. So yeah, if you maybe no, don't start a SIP because if you know it's thoda irregular, but as you rightly said, there are those, you have that lump sum अभी वो आया है तो वो डाल दो ना तो at least that will give you some peace of mind. SIP
Correct.
रहेगा तो irregular है, you will always be stressed यार ये महीने का कैसे डालूं क्या करूं, but at least the regular, lump sum that you get, you can invest that.
Right.
Okay. We have a couple of more. Quickly, we'll close, guys. If I am still at a survival level, what's the first step I should take to move up to security?
So that, like I said, you need to have a budget in place. Okay. While I assume that you may not be able to do much with your income, it
Hmm.
is quite possible that you need to go back and look at your expenses. Create a laundry list. It will,
Hmm.
put it into a paper and see where all do you spend. So if it is groceries, household items, something that is not compromisable, you will cannot do anything. But look at the discretionary spending, spending that you
Hmm.
can live without. Okay,
Hmm.
reduce the frequency. If you're going out and eating every week, maybe you do it twice a month or once a month.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
look at your discretion spending, some things that can be postponed. Okay, we are
Hmm.
very frequently shopping, then you can basically reduce that shopping. I
Hmm.
have told people in the past that they should switch off the notifications in the app. Okay, because every time there is a notification saying that you have X reward points and they are expiring, or there is a end of season sale,
Yes.
whatever, you know I understand, the marketing teams, these consumer teams, all these make a lot of efforts to
Hmm.
grow their business. You as a consumer need to, for someone who is in the survival stage, really, really need to switch off those notifications and delete the app whenever you need. Just get in, download the app and use it, and again delete it. So it's a tough one, to control the expense.
Okay. Yes. सारे notification बंद. Nuvama के नहीं करना. We send you good notifications.
A
Our team
shopping
is
app,
only shopping, and your Zomato and Swiggy that actually, they give you
absolutely.
such
Cook,
messages that even if you're not hungry, you start feeling hungry.
cook
Okay, we
at
have
home.
two questions. एक तो बहुत this please लिखा है तो सुकैना का I'm going to take. What is one habit that can help me reach freedom faster? I think first is this. Remove
I
all your
think
apps.
I think most of you would have guessed it. I keep repeating SIPs.
Yes.
Okay, systematic investment plan is that one habit. The disciplined way of investing is something that can take you to a freedom faster.
Hmm.
Okay, see, you have to give time. The thing, it is not going to happen, or and there is no magic formula also with me. Okay, so it will happen, but after 3, 4, 5 years, you'll see the magic, and that magic is, we're talking about the compounding, you know Money just builds a base and it starts to grow. It's that fast. आपको time देना पड़ेगा. There is no shortcut to that. Try looking for shortcuts, you will fall into a trap.
Yes.
Okay, so
Power
don't
of
fall for
compounding.
those quick rich tips on again on social media and all. There is nothing that exists. Nature has its own way. There is a pace for everything. So is with money. So nothing can make it grow faster. But yes, SIP is a very simple, effective way of making that happen.
So because you were talking SIP, I'm just taking this up because the person has asked which is better, SIP in mutual funds or PPF, considering that PPF is tax free and SIP on mutual fund is not. And she's asking this for a long term.
So I always get this kind of comparison questions, and I say that PPF is different. Yes, it is safe compared to your equity markets. It has tax-free interest and all, but even when you are doing SIPs, you're doing it for the long term. Whenever you will redeem, you will pay. As of now, you pay only 12.5%. So out of 100 rupees, you have to give 12.5 to the government, and the rest is going to be with you. So that should not be a major consideration. Both are different. Okay. And if you have money, you can put into both. So that balances your portfolio also.
Okay, closing, but last I'm asking because two people have posted that question. I think both of them really want to know how can women ensure their investments stay truly in their own name and control? Are bapre.
So, this is again a very important aspect. When you do the investment in mutual funds, one, the money has to come from your bank account. So you need to ensure that whenever an SIP is done or the lump sum is done, the money comes from your bank account. That is one. Obviously, the investment has to be in your name. The first applicant will be you. Okay. Second could be anyone. It could be a minor child. It could be a spouse. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. Okay. So ensure that you are the first applicant and the money is coming from your bank account. And whenever you give any bank details in the mutual fund application, whether you're doing it online or filling a physical form, give your bank account where the money should come back. Okay. That is how it should be.
Okay. I hope this answers your questions. I think both of y'all really wanted to know, and for the others as well. So make sure it's in your name. It is your bank accounts are linked. So that's how you'll get the benefit. Okay. Concluding the session. Thank you, Sailesh. Thank you for such practical advice and, getting us actually understand what stage of financial freedom we are at. And for our audience, after the session is done, on the chat itself, we'll put down the PPT so you can, use it and see. And maybe say after a month or so, or couple of months, 6 months, evaluate, has it improved? Have you moved to the next stage? And you can obviously share it with the team or your family, friends around. So this Independence Day, don't just raise a flag in your hand and say, it's not just Bharat ka azadi, it is for your azadi also. I am going to be owning my freedom. And at Blue Bindi, I think that's what we love to do. We love it when we, are of help and we are able to empower this community. So until next time, stay wise, stay wealthy, and keep owning your financial freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day to everyone in advance.
Yes, happy Independence Day. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.